The New South Wales Government has okayed the culling of Brumbies in New South Wales with the aim to reduce the total of Brumbies from 10,000 to just 3,000.
And today we ask why.
3, 2, 1.
They say that Brumbies are being culled in Kosciuszko National Park to protect its fragile alpine ecosystem from severe environmental degradation, to save native wildlife habitats, waterways and wetlands from being trampled and polluted. The Brumbies are said to cause soil erosion, collapse riverbanks and damage endangered, vulnerable native species like the corroboree frog and the mountain pygmy possum. So the Brumby Bill, legislated to protect against culling of Brumbies in 2018 in Kosciuszko Wild Horse Heritage Act, was repealed in late 2025. The New South Wales Government removed laws that protected the Brumbies from their heritage value and reclassified them as feral pests.
So they've gone from being
Protected, heritage listed,
to feral.
feral pigs,
It's like,
feral pests. sorry.
what? When are they going to get these things right, man?
No, they don't.
How often do they? I mean, rabbits came in for the foxes because the gentry wanted to hunt the foxes and like what they did in Britain. Then they bring the cane toad in to kill the locusts. But the locusts are too high for the cane toad to get to. So now everything that touches or kills the cane toad gets poisoned themselves. That's just two I can think of. When are they going to actually go, just before we do this, let's have a look and see what could happen. Where could it go wrong? Did they do that?
No.
Apparently not.
No, definitely not.
They don't know how to manage their own systems.
This bill was supported by the Labor Party, the Liberal Party, and your favourite party,
The Greens.
the Greens. After being introduced to Parliament by independent Wagga Wagga MP, Dr. Joe McGurr, he advocates for evidence-based wildlife management, and his claims are strongly backed by environmental and conservation groups. But the evidence looks questionable at best.
Always looks questionable with this mob.
It does. It's fair to say that from 2018 to 2025, there was no meaningful management of the Brumbies in the national park, and the population, if you believe the government, has exploded.
But they can't even tell you how many are there.
They can't. It's somewhere between 10 and 16,000. Ridiculous, man. Authorities, with the support of the RSPCA, have turned to aerial shooting to solve the overpopulation, a method seen by many as cruel and ineffective when compared to the alternatives. Penny Sharp, the New South Wales Environment Minister, has been accused of lying by overstating the number of Brumbies in the first place and by making what some thought of as assurances that aerial shooting would not be the preferred method used, then introducing that as the preferred method.
I can't believe the RSPCA went along with this.
Yeah. I can't believe that a government minister would lie.
Isn't that pretty much all they do?
We don't live in New South Wales, but if we did live in New South Wales and we asked anybody, everybody would say, Penny Sharp, liar. She's the New South Wales government's elbow, mate.
Yeah.
Libo, sorry.
Yeah, Libo
Neasy. So there's no doubt that these are beautiful animals that hold a very special place in Australia's history, in its heritage, in what makes Australia, and in particular the high country, so special. There are strong arguments on both sides when it comes to how many is too many, just as there are strong arguments on both sides as to what to do with the overpopulation. But we're pretty sure shooting them out of a helicopter is a last resort.
Well, I mean, I know a few hunters, and to kill them outright, preferably, you shouldn't be moving. And they shouldn't be moving either. Now, if there's a helicopter above a horse, what's the horse going to be doing?
Running.
Yeah. So not only are they moving, but the horse is moving. How many do you reckon they're going to kill outright? Not a hell of a lot.
Not immediately.
And they're going to be dying in agony. It's just how the RSPCA can go along with this and sign off on it is beyond me.
Yeah, I agree. So from what we've seen, this is cruel, heartless. It's a terrible way to treat these horses. Once shot, they're left to decompose where they fall. They're not even removed from the park. They're just left there. That's once they've died, of course, as you say. They're not dying immediately. Reports suggest that it can take days for these horses to pass. There are strong arguments for more rehoming programs and fertility control, but this hasn't been initially taken into consideration. The consideration is, let's just get up in the air and shoot them.
Yeah, it's not right.
It's not. At the end of the day, if we are the custodians of this planet, We need to be better at caring for all animals and all aspects of life on this planet. If the total number is 16,000 in the park, deal with that number in a humane and compassionate way. Don't deal with the problem by shooting from a helicopter or turning a blind eye to poachers entering the park. So the park's closed.
Yep.
And certain horses that were deemed protected, even as Brumbies, are showing up dead. And the people from helicopters saying, oh, it wasn't us, must be poachers. Well, how are the poachers getting in there?
Yeah.
If the park is shut and you and I want to go in there for photography reasons,
No.
can't be done. But poachers with a long arm can go in there no problem.
Yep. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
It doesn't, mate. But with all these things, mate, if you scratch the surface, there are more nefarious things at hand.
Yeah, it does appear to be what's going on, eh?
Exactly right. So we have scratched the surface a little because we seem to have a standoff between what's best for the environment and what's best for the Brumbies. Dig a little bit deeper, and there is a third element in all of this. In 2006, a policy was introduced that stated that all transmission lines were to be placed underground in the Kosciuszko National Park.
Which would have been a superb idea.
Brilliant idea. However, in 2022, the then Liberal government changed this to above ground.
To save a few bucks.
To save a few bucks. So the transmission lines for Snowy 2.0 will now run above the ground through the Kosciuszko National Park.
Superb.
This has seen Transgrid clear 300 acres of the national park for transmission lines, 10 kilometres long by 120 metres wide. This is said to have caused massive permanent damage to the national park. We have seen mounds of dead koalas piled up against rocks, but we're not going to show them on our channel. When someone sent me the photos and I saw them, I thought it was a bunch of rabbits piled up.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it was koalas.
Koalas. That's insane. And isn't that an endangered species?
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to kill them?
Unless you're knocking their trees over and they're falling over and you're bashing them on there with a hammer.
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about make you sick. So it would seem that the environment is not first and foremost when it comes to the Kosciuszko National Park. And we all know what happens when transmission lines come along, don't we, mate?
Yep.
Wind.
Wind turbines.
Yep. So here are where the new transmission lines are going. We recently highlighted the Bookham Wind Power Project that will attach itself to transmission lines incorporating Snowy 2.0. And now we introduce to you the Bondo Wind Power Project on the border of the town of Tumut, nestled into the very pine plantation territory that provides the town with ongoing employment. Tumut has a population of 6,500, and the pine plantation and associated business employs 1,000 people. But now a 1.2 gigawatt project that includes 164 towers standing 300 metres
300
tall,
metres. Oh, my God.
as well as over 200 container-sized batteries, is being planned just 30 kilometres from Snowy 2.0 to connect with those overhead power lines. Now, the wind project is not going in the Kosciuszko National Park, but it's going only 2 kilometres from the northern tip. So it's very close to it, mate.
Yeah, that will look really good.
You'll be able to see it clearly from Tumut. They're going to lose that magnificent vista, and it's going right in amongst the pine plantation.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to clear a whole lot of the pine plantation, which is going to affect jobs. And we all know that long-term, how many jobs do wind tower plants provide?
Very few.
Stuff all,
Very
mate.
few.
Someone that comes and does a little bit of weeding or spraying or
Security.
Every month or two. Cleans up the dead birds from underneath them. It's no doubt just one of the many more to come as international renewable corporations recognise this high wind zone as another way to leach hundreds of millions of dollars out of the Australian taxpayers' coffers. Because that's what happens.
That always happens, doesn't it?
Every single time. So it makes you wonder, was the culling of the Brumbies related to transmission lines construction in any way? Or is it just a coincidence, mate?
Well, you know as well as I do, we've been looking at this for a while now, and there are no coincidences, are there?
Exactly right. When they changed the law in 2022, they would have known that they were about to rip out a whole lot of the national park.
Of course they would. Of course they would. There's nothing surer.
So clearing the transmission lines and killing the Brumbies at the same time.
It's a win-win. It's like get two out with one stone.
Yep. They're not going to have these Brumbies running wild through where they're trying to clear. At the end of the day, there has to be a better way to manage the Brumbie situation. There has to be a way to rehome them, to care for them, to nurture them. There are many volunteers willing to assist to take and care for these horses. They are a part of our nation's folklore. They carried out troops in wars. They're featured in the opening ceremony of the Sydney Olympics. Now we gun them down from helicopters, mate.
Well, I mean, there was 40,000 taken during the World War One across to Palestine and Egypt. And unfortunately, a lot of them died in the battlefield. And then the ones that didn't die, they had to leave them there.
Yeah.
So pretty sad, actually.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, those were horses they grew up with.
They were horses.
They were their own horses.
Those soldiers loved those horses.
Yeah, about 20,000 of them had to remain there.
Yeah, exactly right. And as the world watches on in shock, we find yet another way to bring our culture and heritage undone. Australia is really, really good at making ourselves look stupid to the world, unfortunately. We do it a lot. And this is another example, mate.
Mm.
Animals are to be treated with respect, but not in Australia. We just start shooting them, be it kangaroos, be it whatever. And we're talking about 16,000 horses. We're not talking about a plague of 1 million horses like we've got with other animals. We can rehome them. We can give them sanctuary.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we have to shoot them.
I know. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. So please stop the madness and find a compassionate, caring solution for our Brumbies to continue living the lives that they live now. And if you're in New South Wales, please sign the petition to halt the aerial culling of Brumbies. There's a link in the description. And I'd like to thank those that have reached out to us about the Brumbies. Carmen, what you're doing is absolutely brilliant. We love your work. We love your little videos. They're absolutely fantastic. And it's great to see that there are sanctuaries being set up for these horses and everybody that's doing great work. You know, there's journalists out from America watching what we're doing and describing Australia as some third world disaster area.
Brutality of it all.
It's just horrendous. So, it's time to wake up and treat our heritage listed animals as they were before late last year as just that.
Yep, exactly.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you later.